Good evening, everyone. This is BremSter, and tonight I'm coming to you with what is a treat for my channel always. This is a Riffclown puzzle called X-It Strategy. EX capitalized IT. I'm assuming because it's a diagonal puzzle and it's got a big X in it. So Riffclown, this was a recommendation to me. So this is not a puzzle that Riffclown submitted to me. When I asked Riffclown about it, he said he hadn't submitted it because he knows I've been doing what I call coffee break and lunch break puzzles, or at least that's what I'm calling them at the moment. And he didn't think this was one of those, but I don't only want to do those sorts of puzzles. And apparently some of the people who tested this puzzle could not do it. So yeah, I'm in for a bit of a challenge. So do not go by the duration of the solve, I suppose. Although I have done a lot of diagonal puzzles. When I first started setting, the diagonal constraint was the first constraint I sort of focused in on and spent a lot of time exploring. And I released a series of 7 puzzles in that. My first 2 cracking the cryptic features were both from that set of 7 puzzles. So yeah, that's when I was deep diving into the diagonal constraint. And I actually think the 2 that were featured were 2 that weren't that great. Some of the 3 best puzzles in that series, one of which was a killer like this, weren't seen from there. But yeah. Anyway, so I've actually got a bit of an idea of how diagonal works. So we'll see how that all goes. Let's have a look at the puzzle, shall we? This is being recorded way in advance, so yeah, let's just... Can't tell you what's going on. The world may have ended. No. Normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Digits along the, or may not repeat along the marked diagonals. So on these marked diagonals, they must also contain the digits 1 to 9 without repetition. And digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. My Discord is pinging with an important message. I am going to ignore that one. Okay, from an important person, but I can skip that. It's just a status update. So, right, yeah, so digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and digits may not repeat within cages. So, for example, I could not put 2 5s in there. That would break the rules of Killer Sudoku. But the sum of all of those must be 20. So that's what we've got. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Okay, so there's some gimmies here. This is a 3-cell 6 cage. So the only way to do that is with the 3 smallest digits. 1, 2, and 3 add to 6. And I've got 2 of them. So this is 1, 2, and 3 adding to 6. Okay, what does that do? What does that do? Well, there's a 6 and a 7 cage. So this 7 cage can't be 1 6, so it's 2 5 or 3 4. This 6 cage can't be 2 4 because so the only options for a 6 cage is 1 5 or 2 4 because 3 3 doesn't work. And if this is 2 4, that would leave this as 3 5, and this couldn't be 1 6 because there's a 6 there. So if this was 2 4, this would be left as 3 5, which doesn't sum to 8. So this can't be 2 4. So this is 1 5, which means this is not 2 5, this is 3 4. So there's no 3 here, and there's no 1 here. Okay. So the 1 is in here. These 10 cages are 1 9 3 7 or 4 6. What do I know about 20 cages? What do I know about 20 cages? I've been told this is hard, so I'm actually going to use the killer calculator. You can turn on the killer calculator. I'm not sure if this is visible, but under advanced features, there's this killer calculator. And what that means is just above the title of the puzzle, there will be an option where if you click on a cage, you will be able to see all of the options for that cage. And clicking on a digit and it becoming green means you are saying that digit must be in the cage. Clicking it again will turn it red and mean that that digit cannot be in the cage. And you can also do that by just clicking on the bars, and you can narrow down the options in the cage. It's worth playing with if you wish to do it. So what do I know about a 20 cage? There are 6 possible options, and all but one of them require a 1. But 1 is in here and in here. So I can't actually put a 1 in this 20 cage. So without a 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I can't put a 5 down here. So there's a 5 in here. But there's no 5 here. There's no 5 here. There's no 5 here. This is actually a 5. And this is 2, 3, 4, 6. Can I do the same up here? I'm not sure I can. I know 5 is in one of those 3. There must be a 2 or a 3 in here. Because if there's not, this is 2, 3, and these would both be 1. So only one of these can be 2 or 3. Although this could be 4, 6. No. This could be 4, 6. But one of them must be, because if this is 4, 6. So one of these is 2, 3. One of these is 2, 3. Seven and 9 are in here. This 20 cage similarly can't have a 3 in it because there must be 3 in those, so I can't put 3 in any of those, and there's a 3 up here, so I can't put 3 in any of those. So there's no 3 in this 20 cage, which means it must have a 1 in it, and it must have a 2 in it. And it must have a 4 in it. Well, the 4 must be over here, because I can't put it in those two. It must have a 1, it must have a 2. And I can't put 1 and 2 in here, so one of them must be in here. So that can't be a 1 or a 2. So there must be a 1 or a 2 up here because I can't put them both down here without breaking this. So one of them is up here, but I can't put 1 here because if I put a 1 or a 2 here, then I'd have too many 1s and 2s in here. So this is not 1, 2. So this is from 4, 6, 7, or 8. That's not great. 8. Actually, this is 8 by Sudoku because I can't put 8 in a 6 cage. That's a 5, and the 2 8 see those. That is an 8, which means this is actually forced to be 1, 2, 4, 5. But there's no 4 up here. So this is 1, 2, 5, contains the 5 because of the 1, 2, 5 triple. There's no 5 here, which by the 5 makes that 5. There is a 4 in here. This is now a 1, 2, 3, 4 triple. This is a 1, 2, 3, 5 triple. The 3 must be down here, so this is not 3. I'm not going to keep that marking. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, and 9. And that's not 6. So 6 is over here. So this isn't 6, 4 either. So this is 1, 9 or 3, 7. And this is 1, 9 or 3, 7 because this can't be 4, 6 and it can't be 2, 8. So this is 1, 9 or 3, 7, giving me a 1, 9, 3, 7 quadruple. And this is known. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 2, 4, 6. So there's no 2 in any of those. And this is 7 or 9. But this is a 1, 2. Oh, this is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So these are 7, 8, 9. And this is a 1, 2, 3, 5. So there's no 2 there. So 2 is in one of those two. There's no 6 here because of the 6 up here. So there's no 6 here. 6 is down here. So there's no 6 here. And now this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 is in here. So there's no 4 down here. And this is now 1, 2, 3, 6. So that's not a 2. That's the 4. That's the 6. That's the 2. This is bonkers. This is 2, 3, 6. So 1, 2, 3. There's no 4 down here. So 4 has to be down here. 5, 6. Oh, there's no 8 here. So these are 4, 7, and 9. So the 8 is up here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, 8, 9 and doesn't include the 8. Eight in this box is just right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, and 9 and must contain a 6. Okay. So that is absolutely bonkers stuff. So now this diagonal doesn't contain 1, 2, or 3. And this diagonal doesn't contain 2, 5, or 8. 8 in this box isn't in any of those, isn't here, isn't on the diagonal. I can't put 8 in a 9 cage. So 8 is down here, which means 8 is over here, but it can't be here. So 8 is in one of those two. 5 up here is in one of those 4. 8 is not on this diagonal. It's not in a 9 cage. It's not there. So it's in one of those 3. That doesn't seem as powerful. So we've got things like this 2, 3, 4. That could be putting pressure on this 9 cage. Because if this is 2, 3, 4, then that would be a 2, 3, 4 triple. This would be a 3 or a 4. Because it couldn't be a 2 because of that. So there's only 3 ways to make up a 9 cage, because the 9 cages seem a lot more restricted than 20 cages. You can only do 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5, or 2, 3, 4. You must have 2 low digits in a 9 cage. But I don't know anything about those boxes at all. Like if this is 2, 3, 4, the 2's not here. The 2 is in one of those two. which lines up with the 2's in this box, which forces 2 into one of those 2. Wait a minute. The 2 would also line up here, which would force 2 into one of those, because that 2 sees that diagonal. So that'd put 2 in both of those 20 cages. How restrictive is 2 in a 20 cage? Not very at all. In fact, all but one option of a 20 cage needs a 2. There are 6 ways of making up a 20 cage. Again, I'm looking at the killer calculator, and only one of them doesn't use a 2. So if there's a 2 in one of those, that forces a 2 into there and there. Wait a minute, is that broken? Sorry, I just need to... Okay. If I put a 2 into one of those 2 cells, remember I can't put it here because of this 2. That is taking 2 out of here for row 9 and forcing 2 into row 9 down here, but it can't be here. So 2 goes into one of those 2. In column 9, because of the 2 can't go in any of those, that's forcing 2 into one of those 2 spots. Okay, all good. That is if 2 is in either of these spots. Because if 2 is in either of these spots, it's taking 2 out of these. And because of the 2 not being able to be in any of these. So it doesn't matter where 2 goes in this cage. If it's in the cage, it's forcing 2 into both of those. Because 2 here would force 2 here, which would force 2 down here. 2 here would force 2 into one of those 2, which would force 2 in here. 2 here would force 2 into one of those 2, which would force 2 down here. 2 here would force 2 here, which would force 2 into there. So it doesn't matter which place I put the 2 in. If there's a 2 in this 9 cage, these both become forced. And that's broken. Because now I do the same thing again. Because 2 is down here, it's not here and it's not here. So 2 has to be in one of those cells. 2 is not here and not here, so 2 is in one of those cells. The only overlap is there where 2 can't be. That's nuts. There is no 2 in this 9 cage. That is 135. That is absolutely nuts. This is a 135 triple, so 3 is in here and there's no 3 here. There's no 3 here. This is 135. Which is forcing 3 up here because into one of those 2. Because 3 is now not here. No, that is completely wrong. Because 3 could still be here. This could be 2, 4. This could be 3. This could be 6. And then 3 could be there. But it's true for 5. Because this is not 5. So 5 is in one of those 2, which puts 5 up here. Okay. And 3 is in one of those 2, because 3 is not down here. So 3 is down in one of these 2 because of the 1, 3 on this diagonal forcing it down here. So 3 is in this one and 5 is in this one. Does that work in reverse? Because that was using the fact that these 2s were forced into these weird positions. So 2 is forced into those positions in those boxes. This weird sort of, I don't know what that is. So does the same thing happen if I put 2 in here? 2 would go into one of those 2, which would force 2 into one of those 2, which would line up forcing 2 into one of those. It would force 2 into one of those 2, which would line up forcing 2 into one of those, which would put 2 there, which would break. There's no 2 in this cage. This is 135. This is bonkers. I don't have the same constraint though. But it is lining up the 1s in this box. So now 1 is in one of those 2 because I can't put it there because of the 1, 3 on the diagonal. So 1 is in one of those 2. And that is beautiful because now the 1 can't be in those or those. So 1 has to be in one of those 3. That's 1 and that's 9. There is no 9 here. This is a 6, 7, which means that's 9 and that's 7, which takes 7 out of there. Oh, this is cool. There's no 1 here, which means 1 is in one of those 2. Right. And now 3 is lining up because 3 can't be there anymore. So 3 can't be there or there. So 3 is up here, but it can't be in the corner because of the 1, 3 pair. So 3 is in here. And now the 3s are lining up here, which means I can't put 3 in those and I can't put 3 in those. So 3 has to be in those. That becomes the 3. That becomes the 4. There is 1, 3, and 5 in this 20 cage. So 1 has to be in it, 3 has to be in it, 5 has to be in it. So the other digits are either 4, 7 or 2, 9. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. But the 5s are lining up. 5 has to be in one of those 2. 5 is not there and 5 is not there. So 5 is in one of those 3 as well as in one of those 3. That's a 5. I feel I should be able to do more of that. Well, hang on, this is not 5 because there's already a 5 on the diagonal, and that's the same there. So now there's a 1, 3 on this diagonal. So this is a quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 6, 7, 9. Which has done absolutely nothing. Wow, okay. Oh, this 1, 9 takes 1, 9 out of there. This becomes 3, 7. You would think with a deduction like this, that would absolutely collapse. So there's 1, 3, and 5 in here with either 2, 9 or 4, 7. Hang on, this is a 1, 3 pair now. Can't put 5 there because of that. Can't put 5 there because of that. This is the 5. That's been the case for ages. This 1-3 pair makes this the 5 and this the 1. So 1 is in one of those three. Except it's not. This 1-9 took 1 out of those, and the 1s have to... There's no 1 in there, and there's no 1 in there. So the 1 has to be down here, but it has to be in one of those, and this is a 1. So there's a 1 and a 3 in this 20 cage. But now there's these 5s. So there's a 5 down here. This is actually a 3-5 pair. So there's a 1, a 3, and a 5 in this 20 cage with either a 2-9 and a 4-7. So this is either 2-9 or 4-7, which means that's an 8 because I can't put an 8 in the cage because this is either 2-9 or 4-7. Oh, this is crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 6 out here. And there's no 6 in any of those at all. So the 6 has to be over here, which means that's not the 6. That's not a huge deduction. Two, 9 or 4-7. This 8... No, I don't think so. Well, it means 8 is down in one of these two. Well, there's no 8 in this cage. So 8 is in one of those. Yeah, it's not it either. 8 is in one of these two. Hang on a minute. That is important. 8 is in one of these two because I can't put 8 in any of those, and 8 can't be on the diagonal. So 8 is in one of those two, but I can't put 8 in this cage because it's 1, 3, 5 with 2, 9 or 4, 7. So 8 is down here. So 8 is not in those. 8 is not in those. 8 has to be in those. That's the 8. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I'm still not seeing what causes this to collapse. I'm really not. I'm really not. So is it this diagonal? Because these cells here are a quadruple. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not 5. Actually, I can see something. 6, 7, and 9. So there's no 2 here, which means this is not 9. So where's 2 in this row? This is a 4, 7, 9 triple. So this is a 6, and this is a 2, 8 pair. Holy cow. Now, there's no 6 here. So those are 4, 7, and 9. That could be a 6, though. And that could be a 6. That's not a 4. Not a 9 either. This is a 6 or a 7. 2, 9 or 4, 7 in here. Yeah, that's okay. And this one is also 2, 9 or 4, 7, but I'm not seeing a problem there. So these are 4, 7 and 9. Well, this is a 7 because of the 6 looking up, which makes this a 6. Take 7 out of those. That's 4, 9. This is 7. There's no 7 here. 4, 9 locks those in. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 2 and 3. So if there's a 2 in this, this is 1, 9. And the 9 here makes that the 1 and that the 9. Which means this is the 7, this is the 9. There's no 7, 9 here. This is 4 or 6 only. In fact, this is a triple. 1, 2, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 2, 4, and 6. There's no 4, 6 here. This is 7 or 9. And these are 7, 8, 9. And there's no 9 there. This 7 looks up making that the 9. So there's no 9 there. This is a 7, 8 pair, which means neither of these are 7. So there's no 7 in this cage. So it can't be 4, 7. This is 2, 9, which makes this the 7. Takes 7 out of both of those. This becomes a 4, 9. There's no 9 here. There's no 9 here. This is 4, 6, 7. Which means there must be a 7 on there, and it's not there. That 7 makes that 4, which looks down making this 6, which looks up making this 7, which looks across making this 8 and this 7. The 4 looks down, meaning that's not the 4. This is the 4. This is a 2, 3 pair, which looks down, making this 1 and this 3. The 3 looks up the diagonal, making this the 1, and these are not the 1. This 1 looks down, meaning that's not the 1, and now 1 is in one of those two. There's no 6 in either of those two because the 6 got placed on the diagonal. What are these two? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. This 6 makes this 8 and this 6. This 1 means there's no 1 here. This 7 makes this 3 and this 7. This 9 looks up, making this the 6, which makes this 4 and takes 4 out of both of those. This 6 looks up, making that 2 and that 6, and that's going to do a lot of damage because that takes 2 out of both of those. This becomes 1. This becomes the 1. This becomes the 4. This becomes the 2. The 6 makes this the 9. Now, 2 here takes 2 out of both of those, and that makes this 5, 1, and 2. The 2 looks over, making this 3 and 2. The 3 looks back, making this 5 and 3. Now, this 2 makes this 3, therefore this is 1. The 3 makes this 2. The 1 jumps down, making this 3, which makes this 2. And 2 comes out of both of those, which fully resolves this is 6 and 3. This row needs a 4 and a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. And the 9 makes this 4 and this 9, which makes this 4, which jumps back, making this 9 and this 4. This 2 looks down, making this 8 and this 2. This 3 looks down, making this 5 and this 3. And all I'm needing is a 7. Yes! That was miraculously good. And it took me just over 30 minutes, but yeah, I think I don't think I got lucky, but yeah, these 9 cages, they were the trick. I've I remember playing with an idea like this and not being able to make it work. It was like this. It was not this good. This is much better than the idea I was playing with. And it wasn't a diagonal puzzle, I don't think. I'm still kind of working on a killer pack. There was going to be 3 packs, and I released one. I think it was August last year, and then another one in like September. And the third pack never eventuated. With it's still sitting there. It's just my life fell apart, and while trying to do a puzzle a day, I just have not had the bandwidth to focus on it. My father passing away and everything, and I remember playing with an idea kind kind of like this, maybe nowhere near this good. That was beautiful. And it was really well telegraphed because you had these 9 cages that were incredibly well restricted, and the way that this had forced the low digits into these cells. So you were really restricted with the low digits. That was really cool. That was just nice. I couldn't have done it without the calculator. No, no chance in heck. But it's a tool available for solving. It's like people who complain about you shouldn't use the calculator. Is like, okay, go back to using pen and paper. Just solve everything on pencil and paper, which would make it hard to record. But there are channels out there that do it. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you very much, Riffclown, for the puzzle and the people who recommended it. That was stunning. Um, yeah, I'm being very blessed with the puzzles I'm getting at the moment, so very happy with it. Yeah, thanks everyone. Hope you're enjoying the content, and I won't be able to record again for a while, so I'm there won't be a gap, but I'm recording over a week in advance at the moment. But who's hoping there won't be a gap. But yeah, it'll be a few days before I can get back to recording. We'll see how it all goes. But yeah, hope you're enjoying everything. And as always, good luck with your solving.